Hello, welcome back to the vlog. Hope you guys are doing well today. So we're headed up to Cumming for our inspection. I don't always attend inspections. Normally, you know, depending on the house, this can take anywhere from 2.5, 3 hours to all day if it's a big enough house. If you've got a ton of systems, you know, electrical, plumbing, blah, 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 HVAC, the whole lot. Anyway, so I normally don't attend every inspection, but do want to be there for a portion of this one because there was some hail damage, we think, to the roof. Not because I got on the roof. You gotta pay extra for that. There was an issue or a what do you call it? An event, they call it in insurance, where there was some like golf ball size hail up in this area near this house. So anyway, we're headed up there now to do this inspection.
The brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house. Levitating now, I'm super duper fly now. London boy, but DC where I reside now. Put the time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business.
Okie dokie, so if you've been following along, thank you, first and foremost. But secondly, this is a good follow-up to the last real estate focused video I did, which was the paperwork. So once you've gotten through all the initial paperwork to work as a buyer, because if you're a seller, you're not having your house inspected, and I'm not attending it. But as a buyer, the next stage after your offer is accepted is due diligence. So once you've gotten all the initial paperwork done, you've sent them an offer, they counter-offered you, or they just accepted your original offer. The next period of time is called due diligence. This can be anywhere from 3 or 4 days, as short as 3 or 4 days, to the average, which is like 7 to 10, or as long as 15 to 20, depending on what you're buying, how big it is, how many inspectors you need to have come through there. And by inspectors, I don't just mean the main property inspector, but if you want to have any contractors come out, you know, if it's a project that you're buying and you want to have your plumber, your electrician, these guys are busy. It takes time to get them out there. So this house was built 2 years ago, so shouldn't be too much on this list that needs to be addressed, but it is important that even if you're buying new construction, you get things inspected, because A, there might be a warranty that's still involved, and number two, there may be a warranty, and B, there still might be problems with the house that, you know, these builders are good, can be good, but they miss stuff, and they have a ton of subcontractors that are on site building this house over the course of some time. So it's nice just to get an unbiased opinion and an unbiased personality out there to look over the house and what it is and what it could be and some of the issues that might arise. As I said before, though, this particular house is in Cumming, Georgia, and there was a hail event last year. We just want to really make sure that this roof is okay, that it's intact, and that you know, there's not going to be any issues the day after closing, because that has happened before. Not to me, but to other people out there. It's just nature of the beast. You buy something, you close on it, and then the next day you have issues with it. So this is kind of a good segue as well for why you should get a home warranty. Now, I know what a lot of you are thinking. I'm handy. I can handle anything in this house. Cool, but do you also work? It's not just about the money, it's about the time. And, you know, for us, it's like a no-brainer. We have a home warranty for our main residence, and then we also have one for our rental property that you just pick up the phone and you call, you pay $75 or $100 or whatever their service trip charge is. You get them out there, they diagnose it, they figure out what's wrong, and then they also tell you what it's going to be to fix, and then the home warranty company pays that part in most instances. Check with your home warranty providers. But anyway, so that's like the next step. So in your due diligence, this is your time to go through the house, to get it inspected, to get your other contractors out there. If you want to rip that kitchen out and put a whole new kitchen in, doesn't matter if it's new construction, old construction, 50 years old, 150 years old, or if it was just finished yesterday, this is your opportunity to go through and figure out, you know, what you want. Even interior designers will go in during this time and say, okay, you know, after closing, you're going to go to Rooms to Go or your favorite furniture place, and let's measure everything out. And this is your due diligence time. This is your opportunity to figure it all out as it relates to your, potentially, your new home. We can't call it your new home until we're at closing because Murphy. If something can and will go wrong, it sure will between now and closing. Whether it's financing or the other stuff. But anyway, here's the video to the paperwork if you want to go back a step and kind of figure out the paperwork leading up to. It's both buyers and sellers here. But specific to buyers today, as far as the inspection goes, you pay anywhere from $350, $375 up to like $600. Pretty much all of it's dependent on the size of the home, the systems within the home, the HVAC, the electrical, the plumbing, all that type of stuff, how many bathrooms, how many bedrooms. Square footage, though, is like the biggest thing I think that most inspectors, you know, basically use to figure out their price on a home. They'll want to know if the basement is finished, if there's been any structural or additions put onto the home, whether it's just a garage, kind of like my last video that we're talking about adding onto our house. They just want to make sure everything's been done up to code, but it also is lasting, and it was also done right? That it was also done correctly. So anyway, the inspector will be there today to go through all of that, all those systems, all of that stuff. I recommend to my buyers that you be there for like the last 30 minutes, maybe even the last hour, just depending again on the size of the house. And you know, again, you want the inspector to go and be able to work and do his thing for, again, what's 2 or 3 or 4 hours or even 8 hours, depending on travel time and whatever else. For him to kind of work and do his thing, and then you be there at the end so that you can connect with him and understand what's coming in the report, right? Whether it's a big issue or a small issue. These things are anywhere from like 15 to 35 pages long, and they address everything, literally everything, even if it's new construction. And there's basically like a sliding scale that they use to define the systems within the house. So it's either terrible, in need of replacement or repair, or it's perfect and somewhere in between. So anywho, that's what we're doing today. We're gonna go meet with this inspector and the buyers today to kind of review all that stuff. It's also nice when your inspector is there, you can find out where the water shutoff is, where the gas shutoff is, where any HVAC damper, manual dampers might be, if it's a zone system, stuff like that. Just questions, again, that even if you're super handy, it may take you some time to find that stuff. Not a long amount of time, but time. So anyway, but if you do have any questions about home warranties, inspections, anything, again, after binding but before closing, kind of in this due diligence period, leave me a comment below. I'll be sure to reply and give you a couple of the names that I recommend here in Atlanta. If you're in Atlanta, you can use them, and they'd be happy to have the extra business. But anyway, that's kind of inspection day and what we kind of do or look for. Again, they're looking at the whole house, so this can take some time, and it costs some money, obviously. So if you're not serious about a house and you're under contract, if you've written an offer, you're wasting your money if you're not serious at this point, right? So don't go making offers that you on houses that you aren't serious about. A, it's just a phenomenal waste of time, and B, it's going to be a waste of money because they're going to be like, so when's the inspection set up? And you're going to go, inspection? We're not even that serious about the house. And you should be. It's a waste of everyone's time if you're making offers and getting under contract and then you aren't even going to have the house inspected. I have never been in an instance in the last year and a half where one of my buyers hasn't been, you know, thinking about getting a house inspected. That just doesn't happen. Even with the piece of land that we're currently under contract on over in Marietta, they're inspecting that. They're doing soil tests. They're trying to understand what can we build on this property. So that due diligence period is 15 days because they gotta get in touch with surveyors, and obviously there's no home there to inspect, but you do want to understand the soil, what you can build. You got to get with the county, understand what permits you might need to get this process started. If you're going to build a house, if you're going to put an apple orchard in, if you're going to build a farm for fainting goats, or whatever you're going to do with it. So that's kind of like the next step here. So again, if you didn't catch that paperwork video, I'll leave the link down in the description. Again, that's like the pre-portion of this. Once you're under contract, you get your inspections done, you have your due diligence period here, and then once we're out of due diligence, you're moving towards closing. And you're mostly, unless you're doing cash, just waiting on financing to fall in place, and appraisal. Maybe one day I'll go through like the whole process, A to Z, because that could be a really long video and there's a lot to describe and explain there, but I think it'd be good. I don't know. If you want that, leave a comment. I want that below, and we'll think about doing like the full real estate transaction start to finish, at least here in Georgia, and we can walk through that. Cool? All right, on to the inspection. All right, so as we expected, not too much going on there. A couple air filters need to be replaced on the HVAC system, a couple nail pops here and there, mostly cosmetic stuff, little stuff that the house is settling. It's just natural, it's gonna happen. I don't care if it's a 100-year-old house, or like I said before, if it was done yesterday. Over the course of 2 years, a lot can happen. And I've been in an instance where I had a new construction home that was done, and I represented some buyers, and it was actually my first transaction last March, and not 3 months ago, but a year and 3 months ago. And the house had been done for like 6 months, and there was just a lot of settling going on, a lot of gaps in between drywall and trim, some paint touch-up that needed to be done. And again, while you're under a warranty, you might as well just get that stuff done. The builder's still there, he's still building houses, especially. He's gonna make a phone call, he's gonna get a contractor over there, he's gonna get him to fix it, because that contractor probably wants to keep doing business with him. So it's like a no-brainer if you're looking at new construction. But that's kind of where that one is. So really, really simple, really, really clean, and easy. So that report will still be 15 to like 35 pages long. But what's nice about that is that you can go back to it. Once they've closed, once they've been in that house for a year or 2 or 3 or 5, they can go back and look at the lifespan of these products, of the HVAC, and how long something should last, and then kind of put their storyline together, if you will. And just like a roof, all of this stuff is wear and tear. Like over the course of some amount of time, you have to just replace things. You have to plan on some maintenance. But at least now, and again, only 2 years old, you kind of know what to expect. So if that's a 30-year-old shingle, you got 28 years left. And that's provided nothing catastrophic, whether it's hail or a tree or a cow flying through the roof. It is coming, Georgia. Happens. So that's my 2 cents, if you will, on the inspection process. But thank you guys so much for following along in the vlog. I really do appreciate it, and hope you will hit subscribe today. We got a lot more content coming at you, and it seems like every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday we're hitting this thing at noon. So yeah, we're in our groove. We're getting there, and as busy as I am, that's impressive, because it's one thing to go out and do a lot of business, but it's a whole nother to go out and do business but then try to document a lot of what's happening along the way. But I'm hoping also that if I get a new client, a new buyer client, I can just send them to these videos and say, look, here's the process. Paperwork, inspection, due diligence. Between your end of due diligence and closing, here's what you need to be planning and thinking about, getting utilities set up, and so on and so forth and so on and so forth. So anyway, but thank you guys again for following along in the vlog. Really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
The time in while you always yelling time out. And for quit it, cause I know I'm coming with it. You were sitting, you were wishing I was handling my business. Now I got the ball like Harry Potter playing Quidditch, and my business is humongous. You would think that habit